Hi everyone. Today I have a piece for my small ring art journal, and I start out with this piece of jelly print, and I did this jelly print with some distress inks, and I just love how it turned out. I used a stencil, and so I'm using it, and I am tape or gluing on some cardstock to the back. Doesn't have to be anything great because we're going to use the surface of the jelly print. It doesn't need to be anything wonderful. So I'm just gluing it on and then cutting it out. And the size of this, let me measure real quick, is 3.5 by 5, I think. Yeah, 3.5 by 5. And I'm taking the card and I have these. This was a digital download from Etsy, and I just print them out and fussy cut them, and I'll do that in front of the TV or something. And I don't mind fussy cutting. It's kind of calming to me, so I don't mind doing it. But anyways, I got it from there, and so that's going to be my focal image. Actually, I'm making 2 cards. They'll be very similar. They're going to use the same focal image, and I'll just be changing out the ephemera that I put on it and a couple other things. So here I'm doing the second one. And I'm going to cut that out. I love the colorations of this jelly print so much, I'm going to have to make it again. Of course, you can never really duplicate a jelly print. You can try, and it might be similar, but I've never been able to. And often I don't get all the corners done perfectly, so just dabbing a little glue on those. So those are my 2 backgrounds. Okay, so I'm going to start one. I think I'm just going to completely do one and then show you both of them at the end. I have this text, I think it's called Ledger Script from Tim Holtz, and I'm using my Versamark stamp pad because I'm going to do some embossing, and I don't want it on the um, whole thing. I'm just doing the right side and the lower portion, which in the end you can't see the lower portion of it hardly at all, if, well, a little tiny bit. And I end up doing one of them with kitsch flamingo, and then the other one I used crackling campfire. And I really liked them both, so I can't really tell you which one I liked best. The one with kitsch flamingo, I tended to lean more towards pinkish ephemera, and the other one I leaned more towards orangish ephemera, and I think that made me like the orange better. Just all the orangeness. I mean, the birds got orange, there's oranges on the trees, but I thought they both turned out really well. So once I stamp, I use my heat tool and emboss it. And I start going through all my bits of ephemera that I want to use and see how it goes with my bird. So I've decided on this piece here as one of the larger portions of my ephemera. It's from a collage strip pack of Tim Holtz, and so I roughed up the edges and then inked the edges and then actually put a crease down it just to kind of age it up a little bit. And since that's got a little more pink, I'm going to add a little orange piece from, I think that is from the Snippets, but I may be wrong. And then the bird probably is from the Field Notes. I'm also going to add a scrap of black, but I don't think that's the one I end up using. This piece is from the number strips. I have lots of little black strips, black and white, and I like to add them to my pieces, and so I usually have a bunch. I do think that's the one I do end up using. And so I'm going to start gluing down. And I try to position it so I'm seeing the most of the ephemera. And just snip that little extra off the edge. And I'm going to take the Field Notes stamp collection and I'm going to add a couple of those stamps. I'm going to use StazOn black ink. And I don't keep it on the block because I want to be able to press it down because the surface is not even with all the embossing that has gone on prior to it. And I'm just going to add one more. And I don't really care if it goes over that ephemera. And I'm grabbing my homemade aged Scotch tape. It's not really Scotch tape, it's just tape. I'm just adding a little smidge up there And then I'm going to add another little smidge on the side of the ephemera there. And as usual, I am adding a little bit of inking around the edges. That was with Vintage Photo. And now I'm going to look for a sentiment. This is the, let's see, Clipping Sticker Book, Tim Holtz. And I chose the one that says, "'Tis the break of day." And that is it. I've got some final photos coming up. And you'll see the darker crackling campfire on the right with some more orangey items. But I love how they both turned out. I have a friend that's going to get one of them, and I'll keep the other. But if you have not subscribed and would like to, please do. It's free. Some people don't realize that it's free. And give me a thumbs up if you like what you see. Thanks for watching.